Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's gonna be a little different because I needed more than 15 minutes to get my story out, but I want to go ahead and get started on this procedure talk because I don't want to put it off. But I'm gonna start from the very first beginning of why what happened and what led up to me having to have my blood actually renewed as to what I'm going to say. So, starting January, I put out a lot of videos telling you guys about me changing my eating habits, me going on a diet, the things I took out my diet like chicken and beef and all of those things. And then I replaced one meal a day with a smoothie, and then I was eating a lot of vegetables, and I was eating a lot of seafood with fish. It's okay, it was fish. Yeah, I ain't got money for that all that seafood stuff, but so yeah. So I was doing okay. Within that amount of time from January, because I started right after Christmas. So the few days after Christmas to January the 3rd or the 4th, I know it was like the first or second week of January, right before my friend's birthday. I was feeling a little, I was feeling okay, but I wasn't feeling myself, if that makes sense. Like it was something always off. I slacked up eating on a lot of vegetables, and then I went on ahead and started with my protein shakes. So they say when you change your diet, you're going to feel a little queasy. So before I ever go on a diet, I do a lot of research because I want to know what I feel like will be better for my body, and what might work for me might not work for other people. And if you pay attention, every time you go on a diet, they always tell you to make sure you do like research, and don't take everything a dietitian tell you to heart. Some things might work for you, some things might not work for other people. So you just have to like decide what works for you. They always tell you the first week is always, the first month is always the terrible month. And it wasn't so terrible for me because I didn't make it into that full month. But let me go ahead and tell you guys what happened. So I want to say a couple of days before my friend's birthday, I didn't feel that better. So I started on my protein shakes, thinking that maybe I need protein and fiber because you guys, I wasn't feeling that great. So I was thinking to myself like, okay, since I'm not feeling that great, maybe my system needs to be cleansed. So that's when I started also on detox water. Okay, I was on detox water for more than 7 days, which is, don't do this ever. Okay, 7 days is the most you can go with detox water, I feel like. But I was on there more than 7 days because I was not feeling that great. So weeks after her birthday and all of that stuff, right before my dad's birthday, my parents' anniversary, that's when I had went into the hospital. I was in the hospital for a couple of days. After those couple of days, they let me out, and I didn't know like what was the issue. So, and they didn't know. So they let me go home after those couple of days just to watch my blood pressure. And because when I first went, she did tell me my blood pressure was low, and she told me that it was probably because of my the diet that I was on. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's true, because every time I go on a diet, my blood pressure drops significant. I understand it. Okay, so goes on. It was my dad and parents' anniversary, so I went all out for them. I did a dinner thing at the house for them. Well, I had it side up because I had went back to Virginia. So, I let them do, like, I paid people to come to the house to make it feel like they was at a restaurant, but they wasn't, if that makes sense. And it was great. They loved it. So, after that, I got back from from Virginia, and I want to say it was probably a week or two after that when I noticed that I always felt very tired. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm moving too much, maybe I need sleep. I was thinking of everything possible I could that I felt like would work. And I felt like, okay, I need sleep. That's all wrong with me. I need sleep. If I get some sleep, I'll be okay. That's what I thought. So, moving along, I slept non-stop, you guys. I slept. I know that Monday when I got back, I slept all day and all night. My parents thought something was seriously wrong with me. I didn't get up and use the restroom. And this is another thing I noticed. When my blood was extremely low, I drank so much water, but I never went to the restroom. Like, I never went to go number one ever. Until I drink like a Sprite or a ginger ale, then I go to the restroom. But just water, I was not. It was like I was always dehydrated. So, that Monday I got back, like I said, I slept all day non-stop. And my best friend noticed that I wasn't texting her that much. I wasn't conversating with her that much. So she came and saw me. And she said, "Oh, you don't look good at all." So, and it's kind of rough hearing that from someone who knows you. But you know your parents, they gonna say, "Oh, you look fine," just not to hurt your feelings. But my best friend said, "Oh, you don't look well at all. Are you okay?" So, I told her no, and I was honest because I wasn't. But now mind you guys, my parents knew nothing. Like, they know nothing of what was wrong with me because I wasn't telling them. And at that time, I didn't know. I just went to the doctor, and the doctor told me, "Well, your blood is low," and that's, I went with that. So starting that Tuesday, from Tuesday to that Friday, I had went to my friend's house to stay. She told me to go there to stay just to get my mind off of whatever it was on, because she thought that I was stressed out, but I wasn't. And so I went there to get my mind, like, don't think about it so much. So from Tuesday to, I want to say I stayed till like Sunday, because I didn't stay like at her house that long, because as soon as I got there, I want to say probably that Wednesday night or early Thursday morning, I had to be rushed to the hospital. So, and at this time my parents still didn't know. And so I was rushed to the hospital, and they kept sticking me to IVs, saying I need more fluid. Now, mind you guys, at this time, I went from 2 to 3 bottles of water a day to 2 or 3 bottles of water an hour each day. And from there, I was drinking gallons to 2 gallons of water a day. And so much water can drown you, okay? And people don't know that you drinking so much water, you can drown yourself. So I was rushed to the hospital. They were sticking me with IVs. They were sticking me with anything they could. And they was giving me a lot of vitamins, waters, and a lot of that stuff, so I can get vitamins and all that stuff. So Now, mind you guys, my best friend had to tell me what was going on because honestly, I was there, but I wasn't there. I was there physically, but I wasn't there mentally. So it's like, okay, I don't know what's going on. But moved along. And once I was there, they never could get my blood pressure up. So this is, I want to say, this hospital visit is when they said they was gonna go ahead and do the 25 to 45% blood change. Okay, this blood change exchange is where they take 45 to 25% of your blood out your body and replace it with new blood or other blood. You get what I'm saying? But anyways, it's like you're hooked up to. You're hooked up to a blood bag in one arm, and then the other side is hooked to your arm is removing your blood, sending it through a machine to get cleaned or whatever. So for the blood coming out my arm to go into the machine, it wasn't that much. I mean, it was moving so slow to the fact that she said she don't know what happened, but the blood was not moving as fast as it was going into my body as it was going out my body. You get what I'm saying? So so they only removed 25%. That's all they could get from that. So they only removed 25%. And yeah, so I want to say a day or two after that they sent me home. I went back to my friend's house and stayed there. It was that Sunday, and it was till Wednesday, I want to believe. So now, mind you guys, I was good for probably 2 weeks at the most, but I was still feeling so very, very, very tired. I was feeling very tired. I was slipping into depression because I didn't know. I was like, my mind was completely made up. Okay, it's time for me to go home. It's time for me to, and I'm not talking about physically go home. I'm talking about it physically for people to come and say their goodbyes and everything. I was so tired. I thought that I wasn't gonna come back from it. So this is when my best friend told me, you have to tell your parents what's going on because you need more than me to go to the hospital with you and all this stuff. So at this time I still haven't told my parents what was going on. I didn't want to, so I picked up the phone. Instead of calling my birth parents, I called my godparents. So I called my godparents, and after this is when my godparents said, okay, you moving in with us. So I came home, and before I even know it, all my clothes was packed, and I was going to stay with them. Now, mind you guys, at this time my parents think, okay, maybe she just need to get away. Because, I mean, they knew something was wrong because I wasn't acting myself, but yet they also know I battle with depression, so they know this is a good move for me to make. Even though my mom, she asks a lot of questions, but they always told her nothing, because my mom is the type of person where if you tell her something, she gonna go with it. She gonna blow it out of proportion. She gonna over exaggerate. She gonna make it worse than what it is, and all of this stuff. So they always told her, oh, that she'll be all right. She's just going through a certain situation. Now, my godfather, he's the type of person my godfather is a person who was born and raised up in the streets. He is a straight gang banger. He will tell you that. He is an old school, but at the same time, he won't take nothing. You get what I'm saying? And at this time, it's like he broke down in the face when he seen me. So I know it had got that worse to where if I actually see his eyes water to the fact that he feel like he finna cry, then I know it done got worse. Because honestly, the only time I ever seen that man cry was when his son passed away. So, yeah, I I know it had got worse. So, I stayed with them through this whole procedure. From the last week of January to, I want to say, right before Valentine's Day, I never went to the hospital. I was good to go. I had, they stuck a whole lot of fiber and protein to me. They fed me clean, because I was adamant about losing weight, and I was adamant about the things that I put into my body of me losing weight. So they stuck to that. Now, mind you guys, I never know me losing weight or me being on that certain diet is the one that was actually killing me. So, I was still adamant, and so I want to say Valentine's Day came, and my godfather took me and my god sister on a date. And this is like every other Valentine's Day, he takes us on a date just to treat us like a man should, if that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? Okay. So, let's say, I want to say probably 2 days after Valentine's Day, this is when I noticed a big difference. This is when another symptom hit that, you guys know, I hate the heat. I hate it with a passion. But and my godmom know that. That's the reason why every time I come to her house, she always keep the air conditioner on 50 non-stop. And mind you guys, I do pitch in with the light bill, but the air conditioner be on 50 non-stop because I hate the heat. And that's strange because I was born in the summertime, but I hate the heat. So this time I go to her house, and me not knowing that, okay, you haven't talked about having the air on, so what's the problem? And I never noticed it, but this day I noticed it. Like, I was super cold, like I was sitting in a deep freezer, and I always needed that, the heater on. And yeah, so the heater stayed on 24/7. So let's say March came. Okay, March come, and my godfather had enough. He took me to the doctor, and he wanted to know what was going on. So starting March, I want to say it was like the first week of March. Yeah. No, it was like the last week of February. This is when my godfather took me to the hospital, and um he told me that he was tired. It was like it's got to be something else. So he took me to this hospital um that was in Alabama. And this hospital to me is like more upscale. If you know Mississippi, you know, like, there's certain hospitals you go to, and there's certain hospitals you don't go to because they're not really going to do anything. So these are one of these hospitals. If you go in for a cough, give it a couple of days, they're gonna have you cured. So I was happy to go to this hospital because I know they'll be able to give me answers and help me out. So he took me to this hospital. He was telling them everything that they did. He was telling me everything that he felt like was the best thing for me. He was telling them the diet I was on. He told them how much weight I lost. He told them that it was 25% blood exchange. He told them everything. When I say everything, I mean he told them everything. So, now mind you guys, during this whole process, my menstruation has not been on, except for one time, and I bled out so much. Like, it scared the living hell out of me. And I was so weak. Like, I was so weak when my menstruation was on. And that was back in January. Yeah, January. It came out January. Now, February, I didn't see it. March, I didn't see it. And I still haven't seen it. What I finna say? So yeah, we went to Alabama. That's when they start telling me that they don't know where my blood is going, but the 25% exchange didn't make it better. So it didn't work. It didn't fix the issue. It didn't do nothing. So they told me, and that's when the doctor, they ran so many tests on me, you guys, to the fact that I was tired. They never took blood from me, but they always ran different types of tests other than a blood test. So after them tests came back, the doctor took probably all of a good hour to come back in the room and told me I wasn't going anywhere, and that we needed to have a serious talk. So we sat down, we had a serious talk. To shorten that story, he told me that this is when I had to choose my battle, make a choice that I think will benefit me in the long run. So I either had to do the 100% blood exchange, or I only had 6 months to live. Now, mind you guys, I still haven't told my parents what was going on. So I want to say 2 days after that, my godparents sat me down and told me, well, my godmom for sure sat me down and told me that I was either going to tell my parents or she was. So I'm like, okay, this can't be my life. Like, this can't be my life. But it was. So I still waited and waited and waited. So I want to say a week after that, I was drinking, I was smoking, I was hanging around people I wouldn't normally hang around. So starting the it's crazy. So it was crazy. So March the 8th. Was it March the 8th? Yeah. It was March the 8th. That's when I had the procedure did. I told my parents, and my parents had a totally different reaction than I thought they would. I thought they was gonna go ballistic on me, but they didn't. They understood why I didn't want to say anything about it. So after that, we nothing really happened per se, but starting March the 8th, I went to the hospital at 6 a.m. in the morning, and I had the procedure. The procedure started at 7. I didn't get out of the hospital the same day, even though it was an outpatient procedure. I got out the hospital probably 2 days after, and then my body had to regulate, and then during the procedure is when they have to start your heart and all of that. Well, stop it. And when the procedure was over, they were supposed to start my heart, but it wouldn't start. And so I had passed away for 4 minutes, and then all of a sudden, out the blue, my heart started back working properly. So here I am telling my story. But I do still have days where I feel bad. I do still have days where I get very tired. I do have days where I get very irritated. I notice I get more irritated now than I have before I even went through this situation. It's certain things I can and can't do. It's certain things that I try to not eat because it make me very sick. And I try to eat things that I know will build my blood back up. So yeah. But anyways, that's my story of the little procedure, the way I felt like I felt. So yeah, yeah, that's my story. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Let me know if anything like this have happened to you guys. And yeah, that's the end of this story. So yeah. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys have a great weekend. But like I always say, enjoy your family, spend much time as possible, because you'll never know when your last day is. Okay, so I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.